I think it's an interesting conversation to have with the both of you. The Lakers have 2 unprotected first-round picks in 27 and 29. Just on Get Up with Woj this morning, anybody that covered the NBA, we've heard the Russell Westbrook for Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, and the 2 picks, okay? And one side you hear the Lakers want to do it, Indiana doesn't want to do it. Another side you hear that Indiana wants to do it, but the Lakers are reluctant because they want to hold on to those picks. To me, if you got Miles Turner with Buddy Hield in the lineup without Russell Westbrook, but you still got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, stuff like that, at this point in time with LeBron, obviously in the twilight of his career, but still great, I think that if you want to give yourself a chance, you can't be thinking about 4, 5, 6 years down the road. You got to do that deal. That's where I'm at with it. Mike Wilbon, JJ Redick, where are y'all on that?
All right, real quickly, I'm with that. That's the way they can get better right now if both teams are amenable to that deal. LeBron James is not going to be there to worry about draft picks in 27 and 29 that don't mature until 29 or 30 and 32. What are we talking about here? So It depends on what the Lakers' goals are. If they want to win with LeBron, if that deal's available, make it. I don't understand. I think, Stephen A., we've been hearing there's some reluctance on Indiana's part. That must be it. Because if that deal's available to the Lakers, do it. Because play-in, I agree with everything JJ said. Play-in is about as good as we're talking about otherwise.
I'm not questioning whether or not the fit with Buddy Hield and Miles Turner on this Lakers roster is better than the fit with Russell Westbrook. I think you are right. The fit is better for those 2 guys. I'm just saying the Lakers have operated a certain way for decades. And at some point, continuing to mortgage your future, continuing to trade your first-round picks, you're going to get in a hole. You're going to have that 4-year, 6-year run, whatever it was, between like 2012-ish to when LeBron signed, where you're sort of in no man's land. And they once again, they operated the same way. They traded all their young assets to get Anthony Davis. So, and look, it worked out. They won a championship. But now they're back in this hole where there's no real path to become a contender unless they choose to operate in a different way. And that's ultimately what the decision comes down to.
JJ raises a great point about mortgaging the future. It is. It's a fair point. And the question to me, JJ, going back to your original one was, will adding Turner and Hield, will it make them a contender this year? And I think the quick, short answer to that is no. A serious contender to win the West? No. It makes them better. It gives them a fighting chance. It gives them a chance to be more competitive. But a serious contender now with what we know there is in the West, I mean, it gives you pause. But the problem is just because of what you said, they've operated in that certain way for a while, understandably given what is required in Los Angeles to be a marquee attraction. They've operated in that way for so long that they're now sort of stuck. They're going to have to get lucky in the draft. And, of course, you can't get lucky in the draft if you don't have any picks, if you give up those 2 picks. Or, Stephen A., you got to be able to attract somebody, but you got to have money to do that. So they've got to figure out the course. They've got to chart the course here and not sort of give both lanes away. Yep. And so that's front office decision-making at the highest level for the Los Angeles Lakers. My bar is not going to be as high as other people's, Molly. Looking at a season where, I don't know, 6th is what I expect. I don't know what they're going to consider. They don't consider anything a success unless they get to the finals. And I certainly don't see anything remotely approaching that. The Lakers aren't a very good team. And I know there's going to be hand-wringing all season. There's going to be less of it from me than anybody else talking about basketball on this network. Because I don't have those expectations. I think there are more good teams to start this season than I have ever seen in my life. And I'm old enough for that to be a long time. The Lakers ain't one of those teams. So the notion that I'm just going to go crazy about the Lakers every single day and what they have or don't have, they don't have enough to be a threat in either conference. They're in the West. There's enough good teams there. Would 6th be sort of that's the over-under? And I don't know if they can make that. They may look like a play-in team. And I'm not just going off last night. We're going off what we know their roster to be, issues they have. We don't know whether this team is going to be around as presently constructed by the time we get to the trade deadline. So, I don't have big expectations of the Los Angeles Lakers this year at all.
Here's where I'm at, y'all. I'm not going to get caught up in last night because you're going up against the reigning, defending NBA champions, who, by the way, I believe is going to repeat, okay? But the bottom line is, it doesn't take much. If you know the game of basketball, you look at their roster, we see what we see. There's no J.J. Redicks on the roster. There's no J.J. Redicks on the roster. They don't exist, okay? You don't have anybody who's a bona fide sharpshooter, a bona fide sniper. You just don't have it. And so for me, when you look at it from that standpoint, I say a huge success would be a playoff berth and a win in the first round, because that would be exceeding expectations. Based on the roster presently constructed, they simply don't have shooters. It's too much to expect Anthony Davis to be healthy and for LeBron James in his 20th year to carry this squad all season long. He was ready last night. Anthony Davis certainly wasn't shabby, but they had open looks, and I really appreciate what LeBron James said. They had open looks in some instances because the team allowed you to have open looks. Because they were saying, JJ, he with us. He with us. Except it wasn't a he, it was a they. They with us. A whole bunch of theys. A whole bunch of individuals on a Lakers squad that you were basically daring to shoot from the perimeter, because that's just simply not what they're going to do. I'm looking at Golden State, Clippers, Dallas, Phoenix, Denver.
Memphis.
I mean, did I say Memphis yet? Did I say Memphis yet? I mean, definitely Memphis. I mean, before we even get to even think about the Los Angeles Lakers, there's 6 to 7 teams, because even with Rudy Gobert, I think Minnesota with Anthony Edwards clearly having arrived, I throw them in the mix as well. New Orleans, that's 8. Okay, I mean, there's 8 teams that you automatically think about before you even get to the Los Angeles Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James on that squad. So I'm going to say the answer to this question is a first-round win in the postseason. That's the best I can give the Lakers, and that's pushing.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports, October the 19th, 2022. And yesterday was the first day of the NBA season. Not the result that I wanted, but at the end of the day, I got to call it like it is. I kind of knew that the Lakers was going to lose, right? They lost big time. I think they went 10 for 40 beyond the arc. LeBron James said basically this team wasn't constructed with shooters, and he's 100% right. He's calling shade on Rob Pelinka, and it's 100% correct. He should have got shooters, but well, what can you do, right? Like, Lakers season is not expected to go very well as currently constructed. I know that they did very well in terms of the 3 offensive players. However, their defense was not so great. I know it's Golden State, reigning defending champions, but you got Clippers knocking on the door, I think, tomorrow, and that is not looking good. Clippers are pretty much favorites to contend with the Warriors, right? So at the end of the day, the Lakers, as you saw, the best case scenario is that they make the play-in tournament. That's it. That's what a lot of people are saying, and a lot of people are counting them out. Rob Pelinka has to pull a rabbit out of his hat and do some magic, because this game that I saw yesterday, and everybody else did too, did not look good. But what can you do, right? It's the first game of the NBA season. You got to give some credit to Darvin Ham. He did devise some defensive schemes and stuff like that. Some of them did work, but at the end of the day, you gotta play with a lot. And I think what they said was, even if you traded Russell Westbrook for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, that still does not put you in the top 4 in the West, right? So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. what you guys think that the Lakers' expectation for this season are. Are the Lakers going to make the playoffs this season? It's a fair question, right? Because first day of the NBA season, you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both fragile, because I get it how LeBron James takes care of his body, but he's in year 20, and you got to think that he's got a lot of miles on him, and he's been injured the last couple of years, every single year for, I think, like 2 to 4 weeks average. Anthony Davis, enough, like, you know, what can you say about that guy, right? He's always fragile. Russell Westbrook, he can't shoot, but he can drive to the rim. I hope he does continue that, and I hope he does bring the transition, like, you know, runs fast in transition and whatnot. So you got to work to their strengths. But again, my question to you guys is, what do you think the expectations are for the Lakers this season? Will they make the playoffs? Only time will tell. I know it's only first day of the NBA season, but yeah. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports. Leave a comment in the comment section.